or?
1 sec. I think Hisokan has just pointed out Adam the mic. I'm just asking.
So
1
quiet.
second.
No, you can't be heard.
Jared Horner says, now
Hello.
I can.
Hopefully I can now be heard. Sorry about that, technical issues. Assuming I can now be heard, I'll start that again. So welcome everybody. We're streaming Crayta today, so this is sort of an introduction stream because we've had quite a lot of new players recently. We just want to run over all the basics in Crayta, so how to set up your character, how to play games, how to create and publish games, how to group up with friends. Yeah, it looks like everyone can hear me now. All good. So we'll just run you through that, but as I said before, hopefully we'll actually go through some new and interesting things for any regulars as well on this stream. So we've got me, Adam, presenting today, and we've also got Sean and Maggie in game with me. I see Sean's rolling up the stairs. If you guys want to say hello.
Hello.
Having fun there with the new animation, Sean. Cool. So I'll just walk you through what Crayta is. So this is the first space that you'll land in. This is what we call the hub. This is sort of the central part of Crayta. And from here, you can go and access all the other games. You can meet other players and occasionally play some little mini games as well. So I think at the moment we've got an obstacle course running. So let's go check that out. So we've got a changing obstacle course. Each week the course will change, and the developer for the first 3 weeks has been top of the leaderboard. So I'm expecting someone to knock him off the top sometime in the next 3 obstacle courses. And I don't even make the leaderboard, unfortunately. There's some pretty impressive times on there. So yeah, keep up to date. Always check out the hub. There's always lots of changes, lots of exciting stuff happening in this space. When we run up the stairs here, you'll see we've got a whole bunch of billboards that we call them, game cards essentially. Now these will change quite regularly, and they sort of showcase some of the featured games at the moment. This isn't the only place to find games, but we'll cover the other places later. For now, I think I'm going to go into one of these games, but before I do that, I'm just going to adjust my character a little bit and then group up with the others. So if I press escape or the menu button, if you're on controller, I can open the main menu. If I want to change up my character at all, I can go to the customize tab over here. Let's go. Are we all looking professional today, guys?
Oh yeah, we're going suit and tie.
All right, let's all go suit and tie. You can just spin your character around, check out those new costumes. What can I do? Let's be a little bit more buff. There we go. Now I think I need to redo my hair.
Living out your dreams.
Hmm?
Living out your dreams.
Absolutely. I've seen someone say that they could make a character that looked just like them within Crayta, so that's pretty cool. I don't think this guy looks like me, but there we go. Let's go for red hair as well, so he stands out. Wait, have you got red hair, Sean?
I've always got red hair.
Okay, I'll go for blue hair.
Stands out from me.
There we go. The other thing I can do is also change up my drone, and we'll be seeing a little bit more of these drones later on. Let's go for the Victory drone, I think. Cool, that looks pretty nice. So, if I head over to my social tab, this is a place where I can group up with my friends, so I'm going to start a new group. Let's add Maggie and Mackie, which is Sean, into our group. You guys should be joining, and I've got this little crown symbol here, which means I'm the group leader. When you're in a group, any game that I go into, whether that's in play mode or create mode, that's going to take the rest of my group along with me. Thanks, Sean. Nice emote you've got there.
Of course.
Let's do one as well. For anyone that doesn't know how to access the actions wheel, by the way, on mouse and keyboard, that's just hold F, cycle around with your mouse. There's my drone doing an emoticon. Or if you're on controller, hold down on the D-pad, and then you can cycle with the analog stick. You can also press Q and E, or I think it's the bumper buttons on a controller, to access the quick chat. Right, I think it's about time we head into Prop Hunt. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Go.
So from the hub, you can run straight up to one of these game cards, interact with it, and that will take you straight into either an active game or start up a new game if it's not currently active. Now I suspect we've probably got an active game of Prop Hunt. Hopefully everyone can hear all the audio all right. Just let me know if there's any issues at all, or video issues. If the video stutters at all, just bear with me. Obviously, working from home, we've got a slightly slower bandwidth than normal, so that's just to be expected sometimes. And if you're a newcomer to Crayta and you have any questions at all, just in case I don't cover them, just pop them straight into chat anytime you like. Should be loading in any second. For those of you that haven't played Prop Hunt before, I definitely recommend that you check it out. It's one of the games that we launched with. Initially it was set in like an office space, but then when we introduced the sci-fi season, which was, when was that, back in around August, guys?
Yeah, something there. That.
Yeah, around August, we also published a new sci-fi Prop Hunt, which is what we can see here. Looks like the round's about to restart. So, we all spawn in the lobby here.
Oh, it's quite full actually. It's nice.
Yeah. I can see a leaderboard as well, so I think every time you win, you get 1 point on the leaderboard. I've got 7 wins. Someone has 354 wins at the top, so that is quite amazing.
354.
Ah, Sean.
I got the best position on 1,400 and 1,048.
You are the hunter, Sean. So, Prop Hunt, you may have seen sort of other similar games as well before, but in the Crayta Prop Hunt, you basically get assigned a random prop when the round starts. One person is the hunter, and it's essentially a game of hide and seek. The hunter's got to find and shoot all the prop players. The props have got to press left mouse button or right trigger to toggle their disguise. I can see, I think this is another prop here, isn't it? Hello. Yes, they are. Little flower pot. Get away from Sean. Get away. Yeah, I think I wasn't hiding too well, to be honest.
Hey, thanks for giving away the flower pot.
Oh my god.
Stop listening to the stream, Sean. Is there text chat? Has just come up in the chat. So I think there's not text chat, but at the moment we've got the quick chat messages here, so I can say good game, even though that was not a good game because I died very quickly.
Mark Brady says, can we have a state share beta link? I don't want to give away my position. Adam, are you still alive?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Do it, yeah.
So, one of Stadia's special features is the state share beta feature, which means we can share the state we're in, essentially, the state of this game, with one of these little links, and then anyone can just click that link to hop in. If you're out of the game, clicking that link should take you straight into the same game as us. It depends if the game is full, obviously. If the game fills up, you'll start in a new server. Just in case that link doesn't work, you can also go to the play page.
I got you, Maggie.
Oh my god, 1 minute.
And on the play page, you can enter a share code from that user share code button and just enter the last 8 digits at the end of that link. Another way to join the same game. Right, so Sean versus Maggie now, right?
Oh, I was waiting for you to ping.
You were so close.
I know.
Nice.
Oh well.
There we go, so Sean did quite a good job there. You probably raised your position on the leaderboard quite significantly, Sean, with that 1 win.
I want to see now.
Cool, so I think we'll do one more round of Prop Hunt, and then we'll hop on over to the editor and actually create a game of our own, which we'll be sharing with everyone towards the end of the stream.
Rocket up to 794th.
Nice! Where am I?
Going for the top spot.
405 now. By the way, if you are new to these streams, they generally take between an hour, hour and a half, and that's what we're aiming for with this one as well, so it shouldn't be too long. Okay. Feel like a chair blends in well here. Oh, I think the hunter didn't leave the lift. So if that...
Oh no, AFK hunter.
Yeah, we've got an AFK
Yeah.
hunter, so if the hunter doesn't leave the lift within the first 10 seconds, the lift is going to close on them. So unfortunately, I think we had a hunter who decided to walk away. There we go, we'll start a new round in just a second. And ideally, we'll play a full round.
Loads of people in here.
There's plenty of people. I need to flex some of my emotes, like a pie face emote. No, pie face. Shh. The hunter is coming. What am I? I'm some sort of
Oh, it's Maggie.
space canister tube thing.
Maggie is here as well.
Oh.
I don't know.
I can hear you.
See the hunter. Run! Run! I think I got away with it. Hi, Sean.
Hello, Adam. Space canister.
I don't give it away, don't tell Maggie.
You
Even though I've
said it.
already said it. So when that exposure meter on the left starts filling up and gets beyond that pink bar, I'm going to start beeping. And I'm also beeping for the hunter, and they have a little radar in their bottom left corner, which actually shows the direction that I'm in. So basically that means I've got to keep moving or I'm going to get caught. I am going to
We just
hide.
do yakky sacks, Maggie.
It's a toilet. I'm going to hide with the toilet. Hi, toilet. Hello.
I
Don't
can
run
hear
away.
so many beeps. I'm just, where are you?
I think the toilet's just used an exploit that we
There
are
is one.
fixing within the next couple of days, which is where they've gone up into
I
the ceiling.
see.
So
I
Maggie,
see.
watch out for the
I
toilet.
know where you are.
Did you take out the exploit toilet? Ah!
No, but I'm on my way.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. Oh no. I
Sure.
want to go into the
Who's
ceiling.
this?
Let me go in the ceiling.
Have there been any questions that I've missed in the chat? There was. Movember came in
was
short this year.
nothing.
I wasn't doing Movember, I just didn't shave for a bit because I'm lazy. Sorry. And then I shaved. So many newcomers. Got the Stadia beta. I have this game on my Stadia account. My son's in Stadia family. If he buys it on his account, can we play this together? Yes. So yeah, looks like that question got answered. And
Yeah, although
Maggie
your
took
son
the
hasn't
opportunity
bought
to
it.
kill me.
If your son hasn't bought it yet, Crayta is currently free in the Stadia Indie sale, which ends in a few hours. So I would be quick if I was him.
Maggie, you're so close.
I know.
20 seconds to
can
get 3
hear.
people.
Quick, get to the ceiling. You know they're up there.
The exploit person isn't using that exploit anymore.
No, I've checked.
No, they're
Oh.
not there.
Oh no.
And I
gotta
can
be
see
quick.
them, but I don't want to tell you where they are.
Don't.
Come
My
on.
last bullet.
No, you didn't make it. They were the toilet and they were in the toilet. Well, in the
Place you
toilet
expect
room.
the toilet to be.
There's no toilet in there.
The
except
toilet
them.
room.
Yeah, sometimes there's a toilet there. Just to explain, in prop hunt, all the props are pretty random, so every round they'll change. So just keeps it more interesting and means that the hunter can't always learn. Let's just check we're not the hunter for the next round, because we don't want to ruin the next round for anyone if we become the hunter. And if not, then we will move on. I'm the hunter. Okay.
You're the hunter.
I feel like I should play this round as I'm the hunter. I'll see if I can capture
Alright.
everyone. I might switch to keyboard and mouse again, actually. Right. You lot didn't move. Oh, controller's got a little bit of a key analog stick. You there, desk fan.
Oh, poor one. Oh,
Alright.
these people are dropping off on the right.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, it's one of these.
Brutal.
Which of these? Fire extinguisher. Oh no. The box. It was the box. 3 left. I heard someone open a door. cooking pot. So as the hunter, if I end up shooting the wrong thing, which I did because I just sprayed bullets then, I get frozen for 5 seconds.
I can see.
Can you though?
Yes. I'm on the security cameras now. Stay hidden. You have 1 minute and 46 seconds.
Oh, okay, you're something here. Are you a banana? Yes!
Thanks, Maggie.
First time! Okay, now I think it's time to move on. So,
Yeah.
let's create a new game. So I'm going to head over to our create page. I'll do this bit on controller. Now let me just explain this page. By the way, guys, if I become hunter again, which hopefully won't happen, do let me know. So I'm going to go to my create page. Here I can see the list of games I've already made, the games that I can edit, so that's basically games that other people have shared with me, and anything I've archived from before. But right at this top row here, that's what we're looking at today. This is where I can create a new game. So I can create it from a completely empty game, a blank canvas, which is essentially this white plate that you see here. There's no code or anything involved. Players will just drop in and I can make whatever I want there. But obviously that could be a little bit more daunting because if I want gameplay to be in there, I've got to make that myself. Then we've got what we call starter games. So if I go along here, there's a whole number of different game essentially templates that we can start working from. So for example, I could make a new obstacle course, and you'll see from that screenshot there, again it's quite basic, but it involves a little bit of game logic now. So it's got things like checkpoints and obstacles and a timer and a leaderboard in there, I think. A couple of these games also come with what we call an example game. So if I go to race, I can see that I've got the race starter game, or I've actually got city sprint. Now these example games are essentially more fleshed out versions of a starter game. I think there's about 3 of them on race, target practice, and remind me of the last one, guys?
Collection? Have we said that?
No, that doesn't have an example game. Oh no, it's Capture the Flag, isn't it?
That's
As
it.
Vault Heist example game. So, you know, if you don't want to go straight into something empty, if you want to just take basically a full game and try and modify it, it's a really good way to learn. It's also a really good way to start with a project very quickly and then modify it to make it your own. But today we're going to go with a collection game. So I'll select this collection game. It provides me with pickups, collectibles, which are going to spawn throughout the round. Every time someone picks one up, they earn a point, and a random one is active at any time. Let's call this
You can do it.
the best collection game. Continue. Now I get to choose a default cover image. So we provide a whole selection of these, but once you publish your game, you can go to the Crayta website. Hopefully Sean or Maggie can drop a link for that into the chat. And on the Crayta website, you can actually upload your own images. So let's go for something a bit sci-fi. And that's it. I've created my game, and that's going to take me in, and it's going to take
pull Maggie out.
going to take my group with me as well. Is Maggie the hunter?
No, Maggie
No,
the
no,
laptop
no.
left.
Shh,
Oh,
quiet,
oh.
quiet, quiet.
Oh,
Oh, no! You pulled me into the game.
He pulled through the game just as the hunter pointed a gun at Maggie. We don't know if you ever found him.
Oh no!
Never know. We'll never know.
Well, at least the hunter will have won that, which it sounds like they deserved. So,
Right, well done, Victorious.
we've got a little bit of a plan for this game, haven't we, guys? It's always best to start with a little bit of an idea. So, I think we're going to make basically a very simple collection game. We're not going to change the logic of the collection game too much. We'll mostly focus on editing a map for today because that's a little bit easier. And I think Sean and Maggie are going to build 2 sides of this map. We can extend the base plate, but I think we'll stick with roughly this size just so, you know, we fit within the time constraints. And we're going to be decorating this in a sort of sci-fi versus western style. So one of you is going to take a sci-fi side and the other one will take a western side. Does that sound good?
That's good.
Cool. Which one's taking which? Just so I know.
Shotgun space.
All right.
Anyway, to the Weston.
Sean is space. So currently I'm running around our editor, and this is what we call our basic mode. So I'm controlling my character. I can still do all of this on a controller. Hopefully you can see that. And I can actually do quite a lot of editing through this mode. So for example, I can open up the library with the Y button, or if you're on keyboard and mouse, that's the L key. And first of all, we're presented with our Voxels library. So the Voxels is essentially all the different materials that we can build in when we build out of blocks, which we call Voxels. And this should be very familiar to people who've played things like Minecraft before. So all the environments and terrains and stuff within Crayta are made out of voxels, which we just find is a really nice, quick, easy way to get started with building environments without any complicated tools. So have you guys built a center line? Because I might do a little center line for you if you don't mind.
I'll go for it. I built my panel.
So I'm going to select, I'm going to select some voxels. Let's go for something exciting like disco in the center line. So when I select a voxel by pressing A, that equips it to my hotbar down the bottom there. And I can use the left and right bumpers to cycle through my hotbar. And I'll close that now. You can see, should be very familiar to anyone who's played games like Minecraft before. I can run around as my player and place blocks with the right trigger, or I can remove them by holding the left trigger. Now our voxels are 25 centimeters, and I've got like a 2x2 here, so this is a 50 by 50 centimeter block. I can paint in lines if I just, whoops, I've ended up painting too high. I can draw in lines like this if I just drag across. I'm going to draw you guys a center line so you know where to build, even though it looks like you've already started. Cool, you've got a center disco line in the middle there. But then I can also toggle through different voxel tools, so I don't just have to place or delete. If I press up on the D-pad, or what's that on mouse and keyboard, T, I can toggle through different voxel tools. So I go to a couple of different sizes. I've got a fill tool, so don't scream. I can fill all this in disco.
Ah.
I can just undo and redo, which is left and right on the D-pad, or on keyboard or mouse, that's Control Z, Control Y. A number of these controls are written in the prompts down the bottom left corner and the bottom right corner as well. A couple of other tools. Extrude is quite nice, so I can just grab a face of my voxels and push it up or down. So for example, push the center line down a bit. If I want to drag that out, just hold the trigger, drag that out. I think let's keep it as the center line for now. Then we've got a grow and erode tools, which I think Maggie's using at the moment. If I find some sort of, I don't know, gravel might work for this. Then I can actually do more natural looking terrain. So if I hold the right trigger, then I can grow voxels. And if I hold the left trigger, I can erode, which is nice for making things like caves or just holes in the ground, craters. Areas for ponds to go in. Sorry, Sean?
Craters.
Yeah, pun intended. So,
Right.
so that's the voxel tools that you can use in basic mode. Then we've got a couple of other things. So I can go to our meshes tab in the library. So while you can build out of voxels, and you'd be perfectly fine building a whole world out of that. We also have our 3D meshes. These are all things that we've made and that are included with Crayta. At the moment, we do plan eventually to allow creators to upload their own meshes, but that's sort of something for the future. But at the moment, I think we've got a pretty extensive library of around 800 or so meshes. And I can filter these by tags at the top. So I'm going to work a little bit on both of your sides if you guys don't mind. I think there must be some sort of, there are Western Frontiers tag. So if I filter by that.
Mining and stone.
Yeah, I've got a Western Frontier, so I think some interesting things. I'll equip things like a cactus. What else might be good here? Some withered maize and a lemonade stand. Let's go for a couple of those. And you'll see I can just toggle through those on my hotbar with the bumper buttons. And I can place these in Maggie's side of the world. Just with the right trigger. Maggie, do feel free to delete these if you don't want them.
I will.
Delete everything, Maggie.
Cool. And then if I want to just deselect, I can press B, and that allows me to just run around without anything equipped to my hotbar. Please place a pineapple.
Said that.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
don't know
pretty
why I'm
imperative.
agreeing to this. There's no pineapple tagged Western Frontiers. Let's place a
Oh
jumbo
no,
pineapple.
what a shame.
I'll place it on the center line. I don't know if it's more suited to sci-fi or Western. There you go. We have a pineapple. And when I've got nothing selected on my hotbar, I can also just select things and move them around as well. Pineapple along a bit and try and get that central. Okie dokie. So that covers most of those. There's a couple of other tabs in the library as well. So things like effects, sounds, primitives. So from primitives you could do things like grab a light. You want to place a light in your world. There you go. So I've placed a light source right there. The next thing I can do in basic mode is I can actually adjust properties on things. So I can adjust properties on meshes, on lights, on sounds. So for example, if I want to change the color of this light, run up to it with nothing selected, and when that turns yellow, I can press X, the interact button, or if I'm on keyboard and mouse, the E key. And at this point I equip my drone. So I said this was going to come in later. The drone is sort of your extra, kind of extends your character and helps them with editing. So now I can fly around this light in my drone mode, and you can see I can adjust these properties over here. So I can fine tune the position of the light. I'll put it about there. I can rotate things, but obviously no point rotating a light, you won't see any difference. And I can change the color of it. So let's go for, let's change the individual RGB values. So let's make this a lot more green. Probably doesn't suit your map, Maggie.
We can try.
But we're going for quite a green light here. There we go. I can also change things like, should it cast shadows? The attenuation, that's essentially the distance of the light. The exponent is how quickly it falls off. So basically how sharp the edges are essentially. And the intensity is obviously how bright the light is. So if I whack that all the way up, then my character looks like he's in some sort of nuclear reactor.
That sounds right for a Western game.
Yeah, maybe it belongs in sci-fi. Maggie, did you just extrude the world up? Oh, not sure what happened. My character was underneath. So what I'm going to do is actually drag this light into Sean's area because it's a bright green light, so it's probably more suited to Sean's. I'm just going to lift that up a bit.
Wait, I don't think I want it anymore.
You don't want the green light?
No,
That's
I
fine.
love the green light. It's
You
fine.
can delete my green light. Now from basic mode,
Fine. Fine.
you can also edit directly from your drone. So if you want to equip your drone, you can double tap the A key to the jump button, or if you're on keyboard, that's the space bar. And that equips your drone. And then you see we've got different prompts to control it down there. So A to fly up, R3 to fly down. And I just have a little bit more control here. So I can go back to a voxel, do a little bit of extruding. If I think Maggie's sand sculpture should come out all the way out here, I can do that, but that looks rubbish, so I'm going to undo that. Cool. And then at any point I can just double tap again to return to my character. The other advantage about using basic mode is you can test things like how you get around in your world. Test jump distances, for example. You can test drop heights, all sorts of different things. Now I think the next thing we can move on to is advanced mode. So if I press the tab key on the keyboard, I switch into this more advanced editor. Now it's worth noting that this is only available if you're playing on keyboard and mouse, because some of the controls here, and particularly when you get into coding, sort of only make sense for a keyboard and mouse user. So quite a lot is still familiar here. I've still got my hotbar, so I can still select things on there, place things down under my cursor in the world. But I've got a few more controls here. So for example, if I go to the voxels, I can place them as before, but I can also do a couple of more complex things. So like when I go into the grow mode, I can change the strength or I can change the size of the grow tool. I can make a little bit of a different pattern there. And I can do things like a shape tool, which I couldn't previously do in basic mode. Feel like Sean definitely wants a disco block in here.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Which he may be removing shortly.
I can't imagine a better theme for a disco block than a space station.
In fact, this is a good time to show you how to access the rest of the library in advanced mode. So we've got a disco block here, but if we want to go back to our voxels, the library is now on the left hand side here. We can go to our voxels tab, excuse me, and select a different voxel here. So let's go for the carpet. No, what will look better here? Holographic grid. I can go to my voxel fill mode and just fill that in. That probably looks a little bit better than the flashing disco voxels. Cool. Now it's worth noting, maybe I'll just switch back to basic mode for a second for this. At any point, whenever we want to, we can preview our game, so we can test the game, see how it's going to run. I've noticed that Maggie's lifted up the ground a bit here, so I'm just going to make sure that our start point is lifted up as well. Always worth checking if your players are spawning inside the ground, that you've got your start points a bit above the ground. And then if I want to preview on a controller, I can just hold the menu button, or if I'm on keyboard and mouse, I can press the F5 key. So let's test our game, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can see that instantly drops us all into the game. Now if you guys want to just come back here so we can watch the coins spawn at the start of a round, one coin will spawn, become active. If you pick that up, plays a nice little sound, and you get 1 point in the leaderboard, which you can see on the left, in the scoreboard, sorry. So that's how you score points in this game, and over the course of a minute, whoever picks up the most coins will win the game. So it's not the most interesting at the moment because the default is just to have all 3 coins in the same place, but we can start adjusting that in a bit. I feel like I'm going to win this game.
I mean, Maggie climbing.
You'll see they're already exploring, using some of our new animations that we just brought in recently, like the ability to mantle. Try and mantle somewhere now. There we go, lifting myself up onto there. And of course, when you're in games or even in the editor, you can still do things like your emotes, all of your normal actions. And then after a minute has passed, we get the results screen, and it shows that I won because I collected 3. Good job, Adam. You're
Well
so
done.
good at collecting.
Congrats, Adam.
Amazing. And then I can just hold the menu button again to go right back to our editor. Now let's switch back to advanced mode. Oh, I seem to have got stuck with the drone visible. Come on, drone, go away. Maybe if I do an emote with you.
Your
Drone,
best friend is here
please.
to stay.
Please, drone.
No, says the drone.
No,
I'm
the
here now.
drone doesn't want to go away. Okay, we might have to go back into preview in just a second. Whoopsies. Pick something up there. Drone, why are you doing this? Okay, but that's alright. I can show you adjusting templates from basic mode as well. So if I wanted to change the coin template, for example, I can just run up to the coin, interact with it. Ah, go away, drone. Now it's worth noting with these coins, obviously all 3 are the same, and we might want to add many more to our game. We might want to have 50 coin pickups, and there's no point trying to place every coin individually, adding the pickup scripts to it, doing all that sort of thing. That would just take a really long time, and if we made a change to one, you know, we might not end up making the same changes to the others. So we want to make sure that these are all coming from one central source, one central template. So the coin does actually have a template. It says at the top here, instance of template collectible. I've got a couple of buttons up here. What I can do is click on that one, and that'll actually edit the template directly. So if I go into this view, I do apologize for the drone being in the way. Maybe if I go and change my drone.
Preview. Yeah.
Customize tab. Let's change my drone. The victory drone is not happy today. There we go. It's gone away now. So now I'm in this sort of more dedicated template view. And here I'm editing the actual template asset itself. So this is like the master copy. Any changes I make here are going to affect all of the instances. That's all of the individual versions of this template that we've placed. So for example, people seem quite keen on pineapples. So let me just use the search here. I'm going to change this to a pineapple. If one of you guys wouldn't mind deleting the pineapple that I placed earlier, because that could get confusing, that would be useful.
I will destroy the pineapple.
Obviously I can do a few other things here, like check if collision is enabled, things like that, but otherwise I think the pickups were working. We just want to make them look a bit nicer, so that's all fine. One other thing we may want to do, we can adjust the scripts on it here, so we could say that every pineapple should give you 5 points. You might want to do that if you put multiple pickup templates in your game, but you know, I'll just set it to 5 for now, because why not? And then at the bottom here, I've got this extra button so I can actually add stuff to the entity. So I can create a child light, which might help us find this pickup. Now if I go up to the top, I'm just going to make that light central. There we go, so that's in the middle. Obviously this light isn't shining onto anything because we're just in a dedicated view, so we won't be able to see much at the moment. But if I just turn this right down, set that to 0, then hopefully you can see a nice little purple glow on the leaves of the pineapple. And that should help us find these pickups as well. If I press B, I can close that. You see our pickups have all now turned into pineapples. I can actually take these and go and put them in more interesting places. Like over here. Hopefully advanced mode is going to play along now, so let's press tab again and we'll switch back into our advanced mode. Now I briefly mentioned before that the library for advanced mode is over here, essentially the same as the library in basic mode. We've got our voxels, we've got our meshes, our effects, sounds, so on. And I think one thing that's quite important to games and often unfortunately gets left to the last minute, but it should really be thought of all throughout the game, is adding sound. What I'm going to do is just drop in a bit of music, so I can filter the sounds library by music. I can add other tags to filter it by. Should we go? What sort of music would suit this jungle versus western, do you think? Sorry, sci-fi versus western.
It's always cheeky little number.
Chat.
Cheeky little number. Specifically that one. You asked for it.
Always.
Cheeky little number. When we place a sound, we can go listen to that sound. I've just realised I've got my music turned off. Let me just go put my music back up. I won't have it quite full. So hopefully we can hear now. I'll just turn up the game sounds a little bit. This is our cheeky little number playing. Now when I place a sound in the world, it's got these sort of yellow circles around it, and that's the ranges of the sound. So that means as you move away from the sound, it gets quieter. Right at the edge of this further range, you can't hear it at all. But obviously, if it's a piece of music, we don't really want that getting quieter as you get further away from it. So we can turn off ranges. The other thing is, if I turn my head this way and this way, it sort of comes through one headphone and then the other. So it's kind of spatial audio. We also don't need that. We don't need it to be a 3D sound. We just want the music to be all around, so I can also untick that. That's worth bearing in mind when you're in the editor. Sounds and effects will only play when you have them selected, just so they're not all playing at once and confusing things. So if I just deselect that by clicking into the sky, that's going to stop playing. But any time I preview the game, that's going to play. Cool, how are we doing, guys? How's the building going?
Spacey.
Maggie?
Space delicious.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's not meat voxels, is it?
No.
It should
I've
be.
just gone a little differently to red rubber voxels.
That's
So
okay.
that could be kind of spongy.
I just want to check you weren't using meat voxels again.
I mean, it's one of the most requested things in chat right now.
Is it really?
Yes.
Well, next time, chat. Next
Maggie
time.
has an infamy.
Are we getting the meat mountain of meat done then? So for any newcomers, that could sound pretty weird. So I'm just going to explain that whenever we bring Maggie onto a stream, I think I need to search for the food voxels. That's, oh, to clear my search. Whenever
No,
we bring
that's
Maggie
not
onto a
food and
stream,
I'll be nice. No, but that's
she
not
likes to
food
build in meat voxels, which look like this. And that she's become quite well known for using the meat voxels. So that's just what the meat chat is all about. So don't worry about that.
Meat chat.
The meat chat. Cool. Now maybe let's have a look at some effects as well, because I realise we haven't placed any down. One of my favourite effects is fire, so I'm just going to search for fire. I quite like fire large. This is going in your area, Maggie, I'm afraid.
Woohoo!
Fire onto the lemonade stand. Doesn't have to make a whole lot of sense. We're not too precious about this game. Hopefully I'm speaking for all of us when I say that.
I'm totally precious about this.
It's just about kind of showing people the fundamentals of how to get started in the Crayta editor. Cool. So then got like a few other things in the library that we can access, and one of the most interesting parts of the library, especially for people who are new to Crayta, is the packages tab. So if you're creating a game and you really want a certain piece of logic, so you want some scripts that someone's already made, or you particularly want you know, some pre-made buildings or anything like that, anything that can be made into an asset by a creator can be packaged and it can be shared on the community tab. So for example, the pineapple template I have here, I could package that and I could share that on the community tab. And then as another creator, I can go and search for anything I want and I can actually install that into my game. And you can do this through the basic mode library as well. So for example, one that I made earlier is called the playing scripts package. So let's install that. I happen to know that this package includes 3 different useful templates for me. One which is an opening and closing door, one which is a campfire with a fire that you can turn on and off, I think, and one is an arcade machine, I think, that can play a sound and stop the sound. If I go to my packages tab in my library, I can see the playing scripts that I've just installed. I think I favorited that package as well. And I can see there's 3 scripts included with it, and there's also 3 templates. What I'm going to do is place an effect campfire. I'll place a sound machine. I'll place an animating door. And don't worry guys, we can take these out later. These are just to sort of experiment with. Now, as the creator of this game, I haven't had to actually make any of the logic on these, but these are coming with pre-built logic that someone else has made. That someone else being me earlier. So if we preview the game now, I'll just show you what happens. These actually have some scripts on them. This one, if I interact with it, will turn a fire on. This one turns an alarm sound on, and this one opens and closes the door. And that's just when I'm interacting with them. So when I look at it and I press the X button on my controller, or the E key if you're on keyboard and mouse. So we can take a quick look at how those are working. And if Maggie and Sean want to drop into the chat, there's a really useful link to a page on our forum called the package guides page, which is where people who publish these packages have basically written up descriptions of how to use them, how they work, what's included in them, and so on. So if one of you guys could grab that, that'd be really handy.
Yeah. Maggie's on it.
Now, as an example, we could look at our door. Opening and closing doors is quite a common thing that people want in games. And this just has one simple script attached to it. I can look at the property editor here. If I scroll down, got all the normal properties, and then we've got this play animation script attached. That's got a couple of properties, first animation and second animation, which are set to opening and closing. Those are the names of the 2 animations I want to play. From advanced mode, this is something you can't do in basic mode. If I wanted to, I could jump in and edit the script directly. So I can actually change what this person's already written, change the logic completely in here. We'll come back to that in a second. But it's worth just knowing that they've added a play first animation, a play second animation, and a toggle function. I don't have to know how they work, but I might want to know what those functions are. Now, if I scroll back up, I've got what we call an event property in the property window here. So we've got this onInteract event. If I open that up, I'll just expand this window a little bit. I can see here that on this event property, you can choose an entity, a script, and an event. And this basically means onInteract, when a player interacts with this door, it's going to find this entity, which is the door itself, find this script on it, the play animation script, and call this function. So basically, make that function happen, and that function is the toggle function. You'll see I've got the others in here, play first, play second, toggle. And basically that means I can hook up logic between different entities, between different scripts, without actually having to write any code myself, or without having to know how that code is actually working. As another example, I could add something to onCollision. You'll see it's just got a warning there because I haven't set an entity or a script yet. I'm going to just drag in this entity. So onCollision, anytime a player collides with this door, we're going to find the play animation script. It's the only one on this door. And we're going to say play first animation. We'll just play the opening animation. Anytime someone runs into the door, we'll play the opening animation. And if we just preview again, the play button up here. What is going on here?
It's everywhere.
And you see if I run into this door, then that opens. And it will just keep opening. I can toggle it closed with the interact button. There we go. I've just added a new bit of functionality to my game without having to do any coding whatsoever. I'm going to just press F5 and return us to the editor now. By the way, probably should have mentioned before, when you're in advanced mode and you're controlling your drone, you can move around with the WASD keys as before. You can also move up and down now with the Q and E keys. And if you want to look around, you can hold the right mouse button and then look around that way. If you want to move quicker, you can hold the Shift key. If you want to move slower, you can hold the Control key. Looks like Sean's up to something in here.
I'm always up to something.
Sean, have you overscoped? Is this going to be too big to fill? Okay, cool. Now, Sean, have any way of opening?
It's always open.
Oh, it's always
That's the
open.
secret. That's the secret cap. It's always open.
So Sean's written his own script here, the door script. He didn't want to wait for mine. And he's just given it a start state of open. He's also written his own toggle function in here. Sean, you didn't tell me you had a door script.
Oh, well, you were so happy making your own door script.
There we go.
So
So
better
Sean's...
if it didn't open all the time though. Yeah, your door script's better.
Okay, so what we're going to do is delete Sean's door script. Now I mentioned in this package that I imported, we not only had a few templates that came with it, but we also had scripts. So the scripts were attached to the templates as we saw. The animating door template had the play animation script. But we can take those scripts and add them to any other object. So Sean's got his airlock door here, and I can say add script, and what was it called? Play animation script. The animations for this, if a mesh has animations, it will have this little button here. If you hover over that, it will tell you the names of those animations. So I can see the first one is called opening that we want, and the other one is called closing. Same as the other door we've got. Then, whenever a player interacts with that, it will either open or close based on its current state. Now, another part of advanced mode, which is a little bit sort of out of the scope of basic mode, is the world tree. That's this window over here. Let me just property window down. Now the world tree is essentially a hierarchy of all of the objects that currently exist in our game, all of the entities that we've placed into our game. So we've got Sean's very well typed space 1 over here, which is, I guess, Sean's space settlement area.
Oh my god.
So we can move that whole thing up and down just by selecting it and using these arrows here. And then below that, you can see as what we call children of it, so things attached to it. We've got all the other parts. We've got the airlock door, we've got all the lights that he's added, all the pipe work and so on. If I move a parent in the world tree, it will move the children with it. But I can move the children independent of the parent as well. Then you'll see we've got things like the terrain and all the stuff that Maggie's been putting on her area of terrain. It's also worth noting, I was moving this around with the handles, so whenever you select anything, either via the world tree or just in world, if I selected this cactus, get these move handles. I can also rotate things, so I can change up here to the rotate mode. And as I rotate, it just snaps in 45-degree increments. If I didn't want snapping in either move or rotate, I can hold down the shift key, or I can untick grid snap. You'll see there that's just moving smoothly. If I tick it again, that's going to snap to specific points on the grid. And if I hold the shift key down, see actually when I hold shift, that unticks grid snap. Same with rotation. Just want to rotate it a little bit, then move it a little bit down into the ground. I can do that just by holding the shift key. So there we go. There's the operations that you can do, and that's the explanation of the world tree. Now there's a few other things you can do from the world tree, which are generally quite useful operations. You can create new entities. You can right click on anything and say create child, or if you right click in a bit of empty space, maybe down the bottom or just in the middle of entities, you can create something new as well. If I create a child of Sean's space 1, I can create a new child locator. Locators are essentially empty entities. And what I'm going to call this is pipework. So I'm going to help Sean tidy up his area a little bit. So we've got this new locator entity right in the middle of Sean's called pipework. I can select all of his pipework by holding the shift key and clicking down there. Then I can actually drag things to reparent them, to make them children of something else. So there we go. I've made all the pipework a children of pipework. And you'll see if I move that, it moves the pipework. I think I missed these boxes, so I can add them in as well. Other things you can do, you could select a bunch of entities and group them, then name that group, something like light meshes. Sorry, Sean, I'm tidying up your world tree for you here.
Appreciate it.
And you can do a couple of other things. You could copy and paste, duplicate, or select the move and rotate, things like that. Cool. Now, earlier we touched on templates. Templates are a really, really useful way of doing your work in a much quicker and much safer way. So you make something once, and then you can place copies of it around your world. Now, Russ isn't here. Russ normally presents streams, but I know that Russ's favorite template to make is a burning brazier. So what we're going to do, place a brazier in the world. If I press the F key, I press F, that just focuses the entity that I've got selected. I can select other things in the world tree. Press F to focus on our brazier. Through the world tree, I'm going to create a effect first of all. Let's go for fire. Fire large. Just move that up a little bit so it's in the base. Create a light, because it wouldn't make much sense for this brazier to have a fire burning in it without casting some sort of a light on the surrounding area. If I make a child light, that up a little bit. You'll see that's a little bit faint, so I'll turn up the intensity maybe to 20. Make this light orange. If I reduce the exponent, then it's going to drop off a little bit less drastically. You'll see just on the edge there, with an exponent of 8, it drops off quite a lot. The light doesn't quite reach that rock face. If I turn that down, now it reaches the rock. I don't need such a long range though, so I'll turn down the attenuation. Specular is basically whether or not you can see like the reflection of the light source on shiny surfaces. If I turn that off, no longer see it on the edge of the brazier. And finally, I think we need to cast shadows with this one, just because that looks a little bit nicer. So I've set up one group of entities that I want to stamp. One thing I could do is copy and paste, or I could duplicate the entity. Then if I make changes to one, that's not going to affect all the others. So what I do, I select one, go to the world tree and say template, create new template. So I'm going to call this burning brazier. You'll see this now has an extra little bit at the top that says instance of template burning brazier. If I go to the templates tab of my library, I should be able to see it right there at the top. And even in basic mode, for any editors in my game who are using basic mode, they could open up their library in the templates tab, select the burn, and they can run around with this equipped on their hotbar and place a few of these around. Worth bearing in mind, you always want to keep an eye on the performance of your game, and having lights that cast shadows like this are much more expensive in terms of performance than lights that don't cast shadows, so always watch out for that if your game is starting to run a bit slowly. Cool. So templates is a reasonably advanced function that you can do in the editor. Probably the most advanced sort of thing that you can start doing in the editor is actually getting into the coding yourself. So does one of you want to join a script with me?
For sure.
Okay. Tell me your script.
Okay. So we touched earlier on the play animation script. This is a script we'd already brought in, but what we might want to do is have this behave a little bit differently. If we go and find where it's used, or we can just go to the scripts part of the library and find it in there, we can actually edit this script. And for those of you that are regular watchers and want any top tips, you can also search scripts and widgets by pressing Ctrl-O and then just typing in the name of the script. That'll open it as well. Now, everything about Crayta is completely collaborative. So you can see we've been editing the game together, all three of us, and every time someone makes a change, we're seeing that change in real time. That even applies to the code editor itself. We can see here, very Google Docs style, we've got Namaki's little cursor, and Namaki can start typing stuff into the code editor alongside me. So this is really great for working together on a project or helping someone understand where they might have gone wrong in their script, things like that. So I'm not sure if I actually want to change anything in this script. It works quite well, but Sean's added a nice comment there. And of course, if you want any more information on things like scripting, it's probably not in the scope of this stream. But I'm just going to share a link to our tutorials page, which is a really great place to go and check out any tutorials and stuff on scripting. You can see we've got an unsaved script here. So everything in Crayta auto-saves, except for scripts, because you don't want it automatically saving if you're halfway through typing something. So if I hadn't finished this function and I've got an error, I don't want that to auto-save. You can press Ctrl-S at any time to save it, or you can say File, Save. And you see scripts can stay open in separate tabs, and you can always go back to the game tab at any point. I'm just going to close that. Look back at our game tab. Now you may have also seen some UI in our game, some user interface. For example, the scoreboard on users. So if I open up this little drop down here, at the moment it says world, but I can actually use this to access our templates as well as the templates tab of the library. Again, I'm in our dedicated template view. And from here, we can actually go and adjust anything on the user. So a user represents anyone who is playing your game. On the other hand, a player template represents the physical character that the user has. So on the user, that's where we'll find something like the scoreboard. If we select that, we can actually see the UI here. We can adjust the widget to have things like a different color of text, for example. So again, widgets are probably a bit out of scope, editing those just for this stream, as it's kind of for newcomers. But I might just change one quick thing so we can see that update. If I change the color in the scoreboard from white to yellow, and then go back, text is now yellow. There we go. So all widgets are written in HTML and CSS with a little bit of JavaScript as well. So if you're familiar with those languages, then you should be familiar we write widgets. Otherwise, there's plenty of tutorials online. Okay. Are you guys feeling about collectibles in our game? Get it a bit more ready for publishing? studio, the
Right.
stream was just spinning.
Oh.
Yeah,
then-
same.
I've seen that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen like the viewer numbers be wrong
Oh,
before.
we're back up.
Are we back up?
Hey.
Are we live now?
Yay! We are. I think.
Assuming we're live, shall I start? Shall I start going again?
I hope so.
Okay, we seem to have experienced some technical difficulties. I honestly have no clue what has just happened.
Adam's internet. Working from home.
You can say it's my internet, but my Stadia has been absolutely crystal clear the whole time, so I really don't know what's going on. Ryan
your
K says
computer
I can see it
tired?
now, so it looks like maybe just a little blip in YouTube or something has happened here. So just to fill you guys in while you were gone, we have made a couple more adjustments. So we dropped some pineapples into Maggie's half of the world, and we had a look at our world settings. We changed the sky dome, we changed to mountains, so we've got different horizons here. Added a little bit of fog. I think we could also do with changing the color grading actually. So let's go with a warm color grading.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Toasty.
So
Yeah.
that just quickly changes the look and feel of our game right before we are ready to publish it. So hopefully that's looking about publishable now. I think I just published the game while the stream was down, but you know what, I'm going to do it again so that everyone can see. So when I'm ready to publish, I can just open up my nav menu again and select View Current Game. Or I can do this from the Create page. I can find the game, the best collection game. From either of those places, I can say Publish. If your game hasn't been published, this button will say Publish. Because I've just published it, it now says Update. So I'm going to update our game. We'll keep it called the best collection game. Actually, we might go, might change that a little bit just so people know specifically what game this is, because that's a bit vague. We'll go sci-fi versus western
Corrupted Desert.
pineapple collection. Corrupted
All
Desert.
right then. That's okay.
Oh, I've run out of letters.
Oh.
Right.
Corrupt
Pineapple tool.
Desert pineapple collection. Yes.
You're just mashing words in.
Whoopsies. Close the nav menu there. Sorry about that. So let me just update this game. So we're going to call it, what was it? Corrupt Desert Pineapple Collection. Continue. We're going to add a description. So I just set that one earlier while the stream was down. Stream is cutting in and out apparently now. So I'm just going to keep going with the stream because I'm not sure when it's cutting in and out. Because obviously there's a bit of a delay. Hopefully you get most of this. So I'm going to keep probably this sci-fi one that we'd already selected. I can add a couple of tags to our game. So let's go with adventure. It's a little bit adventurous, I suppose. It's quite casual, fairly colourful. That'll do. Just add a couple of tags so that'll help people find the game. Continue. It's just going to show me a little preview of my game before I'm ready to publish, and then I'll say publish game. So after that process, the game is now live, game published. So that means anyone now is able to find our game on the play page, including us. I'm going to search for my game. Corrupt Desert Pineapple Collection. And I'm going to go straight into playing this game. Now this is going to bring Sean and Maggie with me because we're all in the same group.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
We are on the way. Here we go. Now before I start playing, what I'm going to do is create a share link for this. So as I said, you could share either your editor or a game you're playing. In this case, I'm going to take this share link from the game I'm playing, paste that into the chat so that you guys can join in with the game. Close that. Got our nice yellow UI there. A little bit of fog. We've got our burning lemonade stand that we did right at the start. Cool, so we've got a game.
Adam, how does this door work?
You interact with the door. You should interact with the door. The door doesn't work.
You're trapped in the desert.
Adam.
Panic.
No, wait, I put a back door on. The back door's open.
Oh, you got a back door. Sneaky. Okay, so something about that door didn't work. I could go into the game and check it out. I'm sure it's simple. I'm sure I've made a stupid mistake, but Sean's got a back door here, so it's fine.
Found a pineapple. Ooh, here comes Victorious.
Wait, I have to greet Victorious in the way.
So we're racing to find the pineapples. I'm struggling actually. Haven't found one yet.
I found 2. Get on my level.
So there should be a number of pineapples active at one time as well.
Is it because Victorious found them all?
Oh, he's off 3 so far. Oh, there's
Definitely.
the meaty bit, the chat.
Found a pineapple. There we go. So just running into that pineapple has picked that up for me. Another one there. I don't think I'm going to compete with Victorious though. That's too much score for me. Thanks, Sean. Stealing my pineapple.
I found one!
So let's see, we've got 15 more seconds. I feel like I'm not in with any chance of winning this game yet. That's the lowest on the scoreboard.
First time for
4
everything.
seconds. Nope, didn't make it.
Oh,
So there we go, we've got our results screen there. I am bottom of the scoreboard. Well played, Victorious. And you'll see down the bottom right corner, we've had a couple of challenges that I've made progress in as well. So, because we started from a starter game, it actually comes built in with a couple of challenges. You can add your own challenges as well, and there's tutorials for how to do that available on our website, on our YouTube, or you can just come along and ask in our Discord, and hopefully someone will be there to help you out. Cool. I think we'll just finish one more round of our game. And then we'll cover a little bit about seasons. And we've got some new stuff here, some new exciting stuff to tell any of our regular viewers, as well as any newcomers. So stay tuned for that. Found a pineapple! I found one! I have some points.
look at Maggie trashing us.
Yum yum.
Maggie's finding loads. Hopefully the stream's all good now, guys. Do let me know if there's any more stuttering or anything going on there.
Like,
Let's go back into Sean's sci-fi world for a bit.
once you go in, you can't really escape. Surely
Where's
you
the
should be good at
pineapple?
this. You placed them.
I did place them. I can't remember where I placed them.
Place a
It
single
was
one.
a little bit haphazard. Ah, I see a purple light. I found a pineapple. I've just progressed my challenge to collect 10 pickups. Collected 5 so far today. I'm so bad at this. Where did I
The
hide all the
pineapple queen.
pineapples?
Woohoo!
How are you on 55?
How
I'm
old
gonna
is
dance
55?
my pineapples.
That's
Where's
ridiculous.
my pineapple dance? There.
You even have time to gloat and do a pineapple dance. I think I need to accept that 2025 is about the highest I'm going to manage. Oh, I saw one. I saw one. Slide. There we go. So I wasn't quite bottom of the scoreboard this time. Quite happy with that. Now I promised a couple of new and exciting things. Let me just turn down the game music because this cheeky little number could get irritating after a little while. So, for any newcomers to Crayta, we often run different seasons. So, for example, so far in Crayta's lifetime, we have been through the sci-fi season. Then we went into, what did we have? Dark Circus after that. I've missed one, haven't I? Oh no, we had
Summer
Summer Sports at first. Then we went into sci-fi. Then we had Dark Circus. And everyone's probably wondering which season is coming next. Or you might not be wondering. You might have already guessed. So if I just give you a little teaser image here. Now, hopefully everyone can see that clearly. Obviously we're heading into winter, so we've got an exciting new season planned for you. New seasons mean we're bringing new meshes, new cosmetics, so new outfits and new sprays and icons and so on. There's a lot of exciting stuff on the way. And it also generally means there's going to be changes and updates to the hub as well, so do watch out for that stuff coming up. Victorious has just said no. Thank you, Victorious. Now I've got one other little promo image to share with you here. I'm just going to put that one up now. So here's just a couple of different screenshots just to kind of whet your appetites over what sort of stuff you can expect when we go into Winter's Edge, the new season that's going to be coming up in Crayta this winter. I don't think we can share specific dates just yet, can we, Maggie? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not yet, but we will soon.
Not yet. So yeah, soon, TM. So like I said, stay tuned for that. Exciting stuff is on the way. Uh-oh, enabled the wrong thing. So yeah, hope everyone's enjoyed this sort of introduction to Crayta for any newcomers, and a little bit more information and stuff for anyone that's already been playing Crayta. Do go and check out all the other games that have been published, and you know, even if you have no experience at all in game creation, don't be afraid to go and create a new game, probably from a starter game, and publish it. You know, it doesn't have to be the best thing in the world, but it's definitely worth getting that experience just publishing your first game and seeing what you can come up with, because I'm sure everyone's got some really unique and cool ideas for games they want to make. Now, thank you very much for watching today. I think Maggie's going to drop us some social media links into the chat, so if you're not following us already on all the relevant social media channels, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we're probably on it. Maggie's going to drop those links into the chat now so that you can follow along. In particular,
Right
if you're interested in creation, do definitely make sure to join our Discord. We've got a whole bunch of really friendly people there, not just us, plenty of community there as well to help answer any questions you might have and try and help you out. So, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you this time next Tuesday. Bye.
All right.